So you want to sell on eBay, but you're not quite sure where to start. So in this video, I am going to walk you through what you need to do to make extra money on eBay, whether you want to make a couple of $100s a month or a couple of $1,000s a month. I personally, part-time while working a full-time nursing job, sold over $100,000 on eBay last year, and I am going to walk you through what you need to do to get to that point as well. So let's talk about it. All right, so first off, if you are brand new to selling on eBay, you have to have an account on eBay. And if you have already bought on eBay, you already have your account. So you can use your account that you have been buying things with to sell on eBay. You do not need a separate one. However, if you have not bought or sold on eBay, then the first thing you will need to do is open an eBay account at ebay.com. You will need your email address. You will also have to put in your address, and they will want payment information. This is because when you sell items on eBay, they do charge a fee. Typically, they will give you about 200 free listings per month. And by free, that means it is free to list them. That does not mean it is free if you sell an item. When you sell an item, there are different fees that are associated with this, and they range and vary for the categories that you are listing in. You can see when you go to list an item how much it costs to list it, and the final fees are determined by the category. Typically, it will run about 10 to 12% in fees, so you do need to figure that. Personally, I promote my items, but that is something that you don't need to worry about until you are a little further along in the process. I do have some other videos. I have one, how I make $10,000 a month on eBay, and those are videos that once you get started and you want to know a little bit more about how to up your game, you can watch those. I would recommend next, before you actually list any items, to get a separate bank account. This does not need to be a business bank account, but if you plan on selling any amount over $500 on eBay, I would keep track, because when you're selling on eBay, that is income that is reportable to the IRS. And you also want to know how much you spend, because what you spend on items is something that you have to figure in when you're doing your taxes. And everything that you spend on your business, from supplies to the gas that you're spending. And when it comes to gas, you can either write off gas or mileage. So mileage is typically going to be a little more money back tax-wise. So you want to keep track of your mileage, your spending for shipping supplies, or for your purchases that you are getting to sell on eBay. Next, you will need a phone or some type of camera to take pictures of the items that you will be selling on eBay. I personally use my phone for almost everything that I do. I do have a newer Android phone, takes beautiful pictures, and it is pretty much all that I need. However, there are a few things that you cannot do from your phone. And one of those is going to be print labels, which brings me to the next thing that you will need. You will need some kind of printer to print your labels if you want to get the eBay discount. So when you sell on eBay, you can print your labels from eBay, and that allows you to get a discount on the labels that you are purchasing. So in order to get that discount, you have to have a way to print them. Some people can print from their phone. I probably could, but I don't know how. And I use a Dymo 4XL thermal printer. And I will tell you guys, as we are talking about things, going through this, I do have links down in the description below to both my eBay store as well as Amazon affiliate links. And I do get a tiny percent of commission if you click on the Amazon links, but you don't pay anything extra. So like the printer is down there, and then we're also going to talk about the photography part. Depending on the type of printer that you get, you will need to get either paper or labels. If it gets to the point where you are serious and you're printing a lot of labels, I would definitely consider a thermal printer, because the cost of ink can be really expensive when you are printing a bunch of labels. That's not something that you have to have right away, but if you are more serious and are starting to build up your sales, I definitely would recommend that you get a thermal printer. You will need labels for that printer or paper, and you can get paper that peels off otherwise. And this is how a lot of people start. It's how I started, and I'm sure a lot of other people started this way as well. You do need to get like tape if you're going to print them on regular paper, which is fine when you're first starting out, but as I said, the ink does add up. Next, after you have sold your first item, you're going to need something to put it in to send it out. So you will need different boxes. Depending on what you're selling, this can range from small boxes up to big boxes. And I keep a variety. I also keep poly bags. So if you're going to sell clothing or items that are not breakable, poly bags are a great way to ship out items. And a lot of places have a variety pack of sizes for smaller sellers that only need a few of each size. I buy in bulk. I buy like 100 or 200 per case, because I ship out 10 to 15 items per day, and at Mondays we typically ship over 50 items. So where are you going to get these items? I recommend, if you have stuff at home that you're not using, that is a great way to start selling on eBay without putting any money in. So if you have clothes in your closet, kitchen items are a big thing, then you can use what is already in your home to list that on eBay to start to get some practice. And when you're selling on eBay, one of the most important things when you are trying to decide what to buy is the sell-through rate. And what I mean by that is you can search for how many items are listed that are like what you're wanting to sell, or what you're looking at while you're out at a thrift store or garage sale, or even if you're doing Walmart arbitrage, which that is just going to Walmart, picking up items on clearance and reselling them on eBay for a profit. I personally do not do very much of that because that is just not my style. However, there are a lot of successful people doing that. You really need to find the best way for you to source. So there are different ways that you can get these items. As I said, you definitely can get them from your home. Look, see how many are listed, and then you can click the filter button and you can see how many are sold. And this is going to show you the supply and the demand. So what you want to see if you're wanting your items to sell faster is the same amount sold as listed, or more sold than are listed. If there are more sold than listed, that item is going to sell very, very fast. If you have limited space, how fast an item sells could be very, very important to you. Personally, I buy items that range from selling very fast up to taking over a year or two to sell, because they are either very specialized, they are higher priced and need the right buyer to come along and find them, or they just don't have that much of an audience. I have the space though. I have two 12 by 24 areas for listed inventory, and I've just bought a 12 by 40 shed for unlisted inventory and an office and workspace. So where are you going to find these items besides your own house? You can go to thrift stores such as Goodwill, Salvation Army. You can also go to garage sales, estate sales, and the garage sales and estate sales are probably going to be your lower cost way to pick items up for inventory. And you're going to spend hours researching. This is completely normal because you don't know yet what is selling. And I will caution you against assuming that something will sell. Just because you like it doesn't mean everybody else does. And I don't want you to learn the hard way and buy a bunch of stuff that you like and then you find out it doesn't sell. And what sells changes all the time. Even though I have been doing this quite a bit, close to full-time hours, even though I am only part-time for about 2 years now, I still look up almost everything I pick up because the market can change very fast. And when I'm spending money, I want to know how good of a chance I have of selling the items that I am picking up. In addition to the garage sales, estate sales, and thrift stores, you can also purchase from online estate auctions. I do have some videos about where I source. So if you search YouTube for the Nurse Flipper where to source or 5 places to source, I show you both online and local places that I source to get my inventory for eBay. And I will tell you, I also sell on Poshmark, Mercari, and Facebook Marketplace. So once you have started and get into listing more, having a bigger store, that is something you will need to consider as well. So once you have your items, you will use your phone or your camera and you will take photos of your items. I use either the eBay background remover, which is a tool that they offer you to make the backgrounds white, or I use an app called Bazzart. And Bazzart is great because you can erase the background. So I could take a picture on my desk back there and I could erase everything around it where they would only see the item that I am selling. That app is free and there are some tutorials that you can look at to use them. I have some videos about listing and sourcing as well. Please feel free to ask me any questions down in the comments below, and definitely subscribe if you are trying to learn more about selling on eBay, because one of the best ways to learn what's selling on eBay is to watch videos by content creators like myself showing what we have sold online, and then you kind of get it in your head what to look for when you start to go out and find items for your own eBay store. Take your pictures, you want to make them look as professional as possible. You want to have decent lighting. I prefer and recommend solid backgrounds because it highlights your item and doesn't detract from the item and makes the item more presentable to your buyers. When I first started, I did not start seeing regular sales until I had about 500 items listed. However, that doesn't have to be the case if you are picky and find items that have a high demand. I have friends that have only a couple of hundred listed and have sold more than I have with 2,500 listings. So determining your business model and whether you only want fast selling or if you are okay with some of the slower selling items is something that you can decide as you go through this. You might start with one thing, and a lot of people start with clothes on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari. That is just not my forte. I do sell some clothing. I particularly like vintage clothing because that brings more money and there's less competition. But start with what is comfortable for you. As I said, again, just make sure that demand is there, because it can be extremely frustrating to list a ton of items and they don't sell. And if you're brand new, I do want to caution you, there are spammers out there, and one of the biggest ones is they are going to offer you more than your item is listed for, or they will message you with a phone number telling you to text them or an email. These are big red flags for being spam and fraud and they are trying to trick you. So if you can offer for more than your item is selling for, please automatically decline it and do not converse outside of eBay. So if they offer you a cell phone or an email, 99% of the time that is going to be a scam. When you go to list the items, if you search and find an item that is very much like yours, there is a button called Sell Similar, which is the only way I list items. It's nice because if you are able to find an item that is very close to your own, then you just click the Sell Similar button. You look through the item specifics and make sure that they are correct for the item you're selling, and then you just have to add your pictures. And when it comes to titles, I do recommend taking up as many of those 80 characters as allowed, as much as possible. And you want to put in keywords that somebody might search for. So for example, like Betty Boop, you would put in Betty Boop, stand up, vintage, advertising, sign, cardboard, anything that somebody might search for that item. Use those 80 characters and put it in. Now, in order to get to the point where I am at, where you are having over $10,000 in sales a month, it has taken me over 2 years to get to that point. So I want everybody to keep that in mind. This is not a get rich quick scheme. You are not going to turn around and next week be selling that much. You have to build it up. And for the last 2 years, all I have done, because I haven't needed to pull very much to pay my bills because I do have a full-time job, is reinvest. So whenever something sells, I use that money to buy more and reinvest it into my inventory. And I do have close to $100,000 in inventory listed, and I only started with a couple of $1,000s, and I have bought 2 new sheds and a bunch of equipment that I need to run my business. So if you're wanting to build it up, you need to remember that you need to reinvest back into your business. A good way of looking at it as far as your listings is if you sell 1 a day, maybe list 2 items plus how many ever sold. So if 1 sold, you would list 3, 2 sold, you would list 4, and so forth. And that way you can build up your store. Listing daily is a key component to having regular sales. Even if you only list 1 or 2 items per day, keeping your eBay account active and showing them that you are selling items is extremely important. And there is an algorithm that will possibly pop your listings up to the top, and being interactive and listing regularly, answering members' questions about your items, and shipping on time are a few things that can majorly influence your search ranking. So I do again have some supplies listed down in the description. You can click on those and see some of the items I use. You will want to have those different boxes or poly bags, and you will need to be prepared to ship. I do not pre-box any items because I have over 2,500 items, and if I pre-box those, there would be no way that I could store them all in the space that I use. So I hope you have found this video helpful. Again, if you have any questions, my email is down below. I am also on Instagram and Facebook. You're more than welcome to message me with any questions you might have, and also be sure to hit that subscribe button, watch some What Sold videos, learn more about what is selling on eBay right now so that you can increase your sales. And just start. You have to start somewhere. Just start listing and be consistent and serve your customers. Make sure you ship on time. Make sure you describe items accurately so that they get exactly what they were looking for. And before you know it, you will have a great business and a great side income. The more you put into this, the more you will get out. So it is hard work, and you will see the rewards if you put in the work. I do appreciate you watching. I hope this has been informative for you, and I put out videos weekly about what sold on eBay, so be sure to subscribe and check those out. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. Go with it inside. Go with it inside. It is dirty. Just bring it into that room.